The doctrine of atonement originated from the efforts of early religious believers to make the teachings of the gospel more acceptable to disbelieving Jews. They wanted to connect the gospel directly to Jewish theology. These efforts led to the development of the Christian doctrines of atonement, which taught that Jesus was the sacrificed Son who would satisfy the Father's stern justice and appease divine wrath. The idea of sacrifice and atonement evolved over time. It started with the concept of a neutrality assessment levied by ancestral spirits. Later, the idea of sin and original sin became widespread, and sacrifice for accidental and personal sin evolved into the doctrine of sacrifice for the atonement of racial sin. However, the whole idea of ransom and atonement is not compatible with the concept of God as taught and exemplified by me, Jesus of Nazareth. The infinite love of God is not secondary to anything in the divine nature. Human salvation is based on the fact of the fatherhood of God and the truth of the brotherhood of man. It is about forgiveness and the love we show to others. The concept of sacrifice and atonement was also influenced by the prevailing mystery cults, especially the Mithraic doctrines of redemption, atonement, and salvation through the sacrifice made by some god. I taught that salvation should be taken for granted by those who believe in the fatherhood of God. The believer's chief concern should not be the selfish desire for personal salvation, but rather the unselfish urge to love and serve one's fellows, just as I loved and served mortal men. I swept away all the ceremonials of sacrifice and atonement, declaring that man is a child of God, and the creature-creator relationship is based on a child-parent basis. So, the doctrine of atonement came into being through a combination of efforts to connect the gospel with Jewish theology and the influence of prevailing mystery cults. However, it is important to understand that salvation is not about sacrifice or atonement, but about love, forgiveness, and service to others.